Optique Radio. What do you think to the Lucasfilm buyout?
Well, I think ultimately it's got to be a good thing, I suppose, because there's a massive fan base.
Yeah.
I think there are people, me included, I suppose, who might be a little bit hesitant, perhaps a bit cautious about Disney taking over.
Yeah.
But my kids love Star Wars. I love Star Wars, and I suppose ultimately you can't have too much Star Wars.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I suppose. What do you think about the returning cast of the original trilogy? Do you think it's a positive thing, or do you think it's...
Well, I think it's something that, to be honest, if they're all still alive, has to happen.
Yeah.
Because I think the fan base will expect that.
Yeah.
I would hope that it's almost a fleeting, almost like a cameo, so that we can move on perhaps to the next generation of Jedi and all that kind of thing. So, but I think it's inevitable that they're going to have at least some of the recurring cast.
Yeah,
definitely.
keeping some of the classic elements of the original trilogy and kind of making...
Well, it has to link it together. I mean, even with Star Trek, they did the same with Captain Kirk in the first of the Generations movies. So, of course, I think it only sort of makes sense, to be honest.
Yeah, okay, good. So, obviously, we know you're here today to talk about your company, Backyard Productions. So if you'd just like to kind of start off by telling us a little bit about what you do and what your projects are at the moment and things like that.
Yeah, well, Backyard Productions started in 1993. It was three of us in the backyard, and we just made spoofs, and we did that for a fair few years. And we sort of developed with digital technology, we were able to have like lightsabers and make our spoofs more spectacular, but still spoofs. And we raised money for charity along the way. And then we moved into creating sort of semi-original features. We did a film, a concept film at Pinewood Studios called Cinders, which was a sort of a pantomime in a real-world take on Cinderella.
Yeah.
And more recently, in the last sort of 12 months, we've been working on and now in post-production of our latest feature, which is completely original, a science fiction movie called The Drift.
Okay, that sounds really exciting. So how did you go about kind of starting the funding off for The Drift and getting everything together for that? How did you...
Well, Backyard Productions is funded in a very unique way, I think. I've never seen any other group that does it what we do. But basically, we have about 12 core members, and we all pay in a small amount of money a month. And we do that year in and year out. And then every sort of 2 or 3 years, we generate enough money to be able to make our own films. But also, because we encourage filmmaking, we try and make filmmaking fun, we get a lot of help for free as well. So we get areas to build our sets for free. And because we raise money for charity, that encourages other people and other companies to help us out. And in fact, recently we won an award at the North Kesteven District Council for our contribution to the arts for exactly that. So it's quite a unique way that we raise our funds.
Okay, yeah. So you didn't really receive any major funding from the outside. It was all kind of put in from your company.
Well, this has actually been the first production that actually we did get some money from the co-op. We received a small grant from them because they recognised our community filmmaking. And although the subject matter is science fiction, it's about the community making films together. So on this occasion, the co-op was very kind to give us a donation as well. So that's a first for us.
Optique Radio.